I wouldn't create a project just to create a project. The only reason I even did this one is because I feel like I have something and I feel like I'm watching everybody else fail over and over again with all the rugs, pump and dumps, scammers, people using bots on pre-sales, projects barely getting off before somebody dumps it. Even if there's not a bad actor dumping it, the whales will dump it. And so I kind of analyzed what the problem was and how to fix it, In the beginning of a project, that's when it gets its most growth. That's when the growth can be exponential and massive. As soon as you stunt that, it's very hard for the project to get that momentum again. And the problem that stunts that is the whales. As soon as the whales sell, they take all the value out of the liquidity pool. And so the value is in the liquidity pool. The liquidity pool is a wealth distribution mechanism that takes in native coin and sends out the tokens, and it does it in a pyramid-like structure. And basically, the liquidity pool is the foundation for the project that rewards the people who do the most damage to the project. So whoever makes those biggest red candles, they won. You win for doing the most damage to the project, for doing the most damage to the sentiment of the project, for doing the most damage to the price. The biggest winners of a project are those who put the biggest red candles on it. So I basically was like, let's fix the problem, which is the liquidity pool, which is a wealth distribution mechanism, with a secondary wealth distribution mechanism using tax tokenomics. So just by collecting tokens on a buy and sell, you're able to collect it, and then you convert it to a stable coin so it doesn't lose its value. And then you don't give it out immediately, you give it out and you delay it in the future. In doing so, you're shifting sentiment, value, and belief in the project from the liquidity pool into the future, and you're stabilizing it by converting it to a stable coin so it can't go down. And so you give it to the people that stay. Basically what it comes down to is everybody's paying a tax into the future to keep the project alive, because you're shifting that value into the future. A certain percentage of buys and a certain percentage of sells are being shifted to the future. Everybody who leaves the project forfeits all the rewards they would have gotten, and they pay a tax into those rewards when they leave. So there's actually a positive whenever sells happen. There's a lot of ways to simply say it. Everybody's paying a tax to keep the project alive is one way to say it. The other way to say it is that we're taking from the people who usually destroy the project, and we're giving to the people who help keep it alive. Whoever holds the most tokens whenever the reward events happen, because the reward events happen every month, every 6 months, and every 12 months, and they only get bigger and bigger because the tax is structured that way. Whoever has the most tokens staked gets the most rewards. So you reward the people who actually keep the project alive the most. If you have the most tokens, you're helping the project and the sentiment the most by having those tokens, whether you bought them early or whether you bought them late. The fact that you're holding them, we should reward that. And so it shifts sentiment and belief into the future of the project that hopefully and ideally incentivizes the growth of the project, so that you create a tokenomics project that has volume that lasts more than a couple months, 3-4 months, and then the volume kind of dies down, because if it follows the trend of the rewards, it should increase and get bigger and bigger. And so potentially with the price, the same thing. Instead of the price dying, because the rewards can get so big, hopefully the goal is that the price will just keep going up into the control event, which is the 12-month event. There's so many amazing things about this. I could talk about it forever, but the last thing I'll say on this, because this is a lot to try to ingest at once, is those rewards are permanent. They can't go down. So as long as whatever volume we get, it immediately establishes value in the future that can't go down until it's distributed. And the value in the future puts a natural demand on the liquidity pool, because of the value that it's in it, but it also puts a potential demand on the liquidity pool. So we're shifting a lot of sentiment to actually rewarding the holders, the people who actually keep the project alive, instead of rewarding the people who destroy the project. We're kind of aligning everybody's incentives with each other for the future growth of the project, which is really good as well. We're getting rid of most of the bad actors. Even if a bad actor comes in and tries to buy and sell, they have to pay those taxes. And we're rewarding an appreciating stablecoin, and that stablecoin, it's not just an appreciating one, but it's going to be a utility appreciating stablecoin. So it's a stablecoin that has multiple utilities that DeFi Mark has worked on that's going to help that value go. Say you get like 10 grand in rewards, and say that the value goes from $1 to $1.40. Well, now you have 14 grand in rewards. So stablecoins is amazing, but appreciating stablecoin is just like, the icing on top. It's amazing. That's the project. It's Control Token. I'll send you the website.